most people's public sentiment is very flawed because most people derive all of their information. Their minds are shaped by previous conditioning, meaning the way that they have been conditioned prior to a lot of events. And then the majority of the people here in America actually think that they're functioning after their own volition. What I'm meaning is this. We assume that just because we think something, we personally say that I believe it and it's right. In our eyes, personally, we think it's right. And not only that, we think we actually conjured it up for ourselves when the truth is these thoughts, this perspective, and these ways have all been placed in our hearts and our minds. Well, over 30 years of hip hop, over 30 years of gangster rap. I remember way back in the day. Y'all remember Public Enemy? I remember way back in the day, NWA, you remember them? I used to listen to them. And I remember way back in the day that I'd hear these people talking about cops and stuff. And of course, now the public sentiment is that these people are gangsters. These rappers are evil. These rappers are unjust. But to me, my personal opinion, for 30 years, they have been trying to sound the alarm. Plus, going on 40. They have been trying to sound the alarm to wake up the American people to the injustices of the LAPD goon squad. A few videos ago, I remember following this story and telling you about Waco. Go back into my archives. Go back into my archives and hear me use the example of Waco. Going forward, this former reservist officer, he was a captain, as well as police officer, he told us prior to being burned, toasted alive by the LAPD. And by the way, I want to know, where is the president? Where is the Congress to come out in full force and condemn this? Not only condemn this, but actually do a whole entire clean sweep of the LAPD. What I keep trying to tell you people over and over and over again, ain't nothing changed. This man, Chris Donner, whatever his name is, he tried to tell us over and over and over again that nothing has changed from the days of Rodney King. He goes down as a martyr in a blaze of flames. There's probably about 100, maybe 200 of SWAT team along with other park rangers, state troopers and everything else surrounding a cabin for one man. You want to see American justice? You want to hear about American justice? I was thinking about actually posting all the videos up of the audio, but I'm sure you heard it by now. Burn the effing man alive. Burn that effing bastard alive, they said. The LAPD has become judge, jury, and executioner. Many moons ago, I told you that the rule of law and due process that all of us have to go by, the system is exempt from it. Not only that, I've got a brother that's going to be driving up here from Georgia who the wicked Georgia state troopers, we'll get clarification on that, who tried to, because, you know, you get a certain fine if you're going so fast over the speed limit. And I keep trying to tell you, they don't care about you speeding. They care about how much money they can extract from you. So this guy decided to fight. This brother decided to fight this all the way up to a jury trial. And you know what they did? They dismissed the charges. See, what they're doing is they're calling your bluff. Sure, it's a lot of stress. They know that. Sure, it's a lot of anxiety. They know that. Brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen, citizens of YouTube, I'm wondering how long is it going to take for you to begin to wake up. Now think about this. If we're telling the truth on this political as well as social means right here, Don't you know that I'm telling you the truth on what you call religion as well? You may not like it, just like a lot of people. They're going to pick and choose sides of who's right and who's wrong. And there's many people going to side with the LAPD. The majority of Americans are going to side with Chris Donner. And I'm telling you the reason why. Because under Barack Hussein Obama, and I've been saying this up in this country in this little small town here for the last few months, as well as people I've been talking to on the radio broadcast. Barack Hussein Obama, the gun manufacturers should love this man because they have seen his stock prices rise. They have saw their products literally fly off the shelves. Every single time this man opens up his mouth, the shelves go empty. Every single time he opens up his mouth, American citizens have armed themselves. Over 66 million Americans have purchased guns to the tune of over 40,000 background checks a month. Whew. And they're not just buying one gun. They're buying up to 2, 3, 4, and 5 guns on one background check. They're arming themselves. You know the reason I arm themselves? Let's just tell this truth like it is. I woke up early this morning. I went and checked out J. Smith 4 because I knew that he'd have the scoop. And what did I hear? The same thing that confirmed my suspicions, the same thing I expected to hear, nothing but the truth. They burned the man alive in a cabin. You ever heard of Waco before? Has Janet Reno ever come to so-called justice? Will the LAPD come to justice since they took the law into their own hands without due process? I mean, after all, if somebody do us wrong and we just start going around here and start killing folks, which is getting ready to happen in this society, because the economic uncertainty has just got people just going to start raving mad. But can you imagine if we just start going around killing folks and start ganking people just like the LAPD did? Start taking the rule of law into our own hands. I mean, we got to start asking ourselves a question. If we have so-called law enforcement officials that will not obey the laws, that will not function after due process, that will not obey the laws of the Constitution that is on the books, I'm going to put a question out here for the public that everybody else is afraid to ask. Should we obey the laws that they make since they are not obeying them themselves? I need to ask that question because I like to have my conscience clear. Because we want to live in a country and we want to live in a world where we have peace and safety. But all the hell we got is sudden destruction. That's all we have. That's all we have. And people are literally being annihilated by trying to do the right thing. Fear is ruling all over this country. You know what? The gangsters, so-called gangster LAPD, who've been trying to warn the whole world. Of course, the news media demonizes them. The talk show hosts demonize them. Now they are vilified, even more so after, I'm going to say 40 years of gangster rap. 40 years. Every one of them. Every single one of them are right. They have a story. Nobody wants to hear it because they call them cop killers. But what about when cops start killing Americans? Well, Pastor Dow, he shot up all this, he shot up all this, shot up. Hey, I don't know that to be true. I don't know the official story. Even if I did hear the official story, it would be under scrutiny. Have you heard the official story of 9/11? Veterans like me, when we first saw that thing, we knew something was wrong. Period. Point blank. We did not buy all that in a bag of chips when we saw those Twin Towers go down. I keep trying to tell you, Jesse Ventura has been trying to echo and blow the trumpet for who knows how long, and I know for sure over the last decade he has. And look what the news media does. You see, the people, you got to wake up and understand that there's a system that is against you and I. You got one life, and these people are seeking to rule over you in every aspect of your life. And when somebody puts a badge on, it gives them power because their power is backed up by the state, but they don't have any power themselves. No, they don't. They don't have none themselves. They get it derived from the state. And we saw this man allegedly shoot some high official police officers, family members, and kill them. I don't know that to be true. That's just what they're saying. But I do know something. Something is up for them to use all the taxpayer resources to get on camera and to cuss up a storm and to be totally undisciplined in their so-called negotiation tactics. Sound like chaos to me. And I tell you what, the LAPD sure did come out in full force. I'm waiting to see, and you should wait to see as well, what the FBI, what the CIA, what the president, and what the Congress is going to say about this. You need to have your ears tuned in really hard. And I want to see what the news media will say in response, if there is a response. Because more than likely, if there's a response, he's some type of vigilante or something like that who's done taken the law in his own hand. But I want to know who is going to judge these people for throwing due process all out the window. Ain't that the reason why we have laws in this land? I tell you what, you better start thinking. You better start thinking, and you better start thinking real, real hard. You better start making an assessment of your life, where you stand at, and see exactly what's going on. Because right now, I'm telling you, it's not looking good for the American citizens. Not at all. We are under assault attack. And it's right after our minds right here. And I'm telling you, your conditioning and your training, your so-called education in public food, it's showing. The fluoride in the water, it's showing. This man, in my opinion, has went down as a modern day martyr, just like William Wallace in Braveheart. I still want to see if the president is going to come out and condemn this. I still want to see what the Congress has to say about this, especially Dianne Feinstein and Nancy Pelosi. I really want to hear from them. I really want to hear from them because all this is happening on their watch. It's in their state. I said it once, I said it again, and I'm going to keep on saying it. Our government has been at war with the American people for a long time. And their actions are speaking louder than their deceptive, double-tongued serpent words. No wonder the Americans are buying up guns off the shelves. We are the most heaviest armed country in the world. Do you understand that? And I think that Americans are voting with their feet. Boy. We have a lot of evaluating to do. We have a lot of thinking to do. We need to actually sit back. We need to start talking. We need to communicate. Communication is vital because thoughts and ideas need to be passed by. We need to look at the facts, what's on the table, what's at hand, what the law says, and what's happening. We really, truthfully, really, truly need to start communicating. American people, you need to put aside your bitterness, all the bitterness. You need to put aside the bitterness. You need to put aside your differences. And it's time for America to band together as a people. You've got to see what's going on. And I'm wondering what's happening because, you know, every time we have stuff like this, where are all the people who say that they're going to do this and they're going to do that and they're going to do this and they're going to do that? Our system is jacked. It's jacked big time. That's the truth.